For so many years that you've been here, there's been a lot of criticism of not you, but the offensive line as a reason holding the team back. There's really none of that this year, really. How do you kind of rectify that in your mind? Do you think you and the rest of your guys up front are playing some of the best football you've played since you've been here as a unit, and that you're not getting the results, as a result of that?
I would say I think we're playing well, but obviously not well enough to get the results that we want. At the end of the day, it's a team sport. It takes everyone. If we have to do more, we have to find a way to do more to get the wins.
How has the continuity helped? I mean, since you've didn't start the first two games, you've been on the field. The guards haven't missed anything. John Michael missed a couple. Luminor just missed one. But for the most part, your five guys are playing every snap together. How important has that been?
It helps a ton. We have a veteran group, and getting more snaps together, just watching film, getting more practice reps. I think it helps us. We communicate a lot better. Our combinations and passing off games and stuff like that. I think it's important.
You can really tell that in games that you kind of maybe on the other side of the line there's not incredible physical superiority maybe with some of your teammates, but that you guys know what to do. You know what I mean? You know how to figure it out, and in the game, if this is giving you a problem, is just seem like a smart group right now in your mind?
I wouldn't say just smart. I think we're physical up front. I think we use good technique, and I would say we're pretty athletic too.
Good. I didn't mean to disparage it, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Evan Barnes.
Hey, Andrew.
How you doing?
Just, I guess, looking at these, speaking of continuity these last two games, I guess just how pleased is it for you just to be able to get back to playing the way you want to play? I know, obviously, you mentioned it's a team game and the wins and losses matter, but for you just being healthy and being able to just be in this groove now, like, how does that feel for you, just given how last year ended?
I will say right now it's a double-edged sword. Like, I'm grateful to be out there. Obviously, I missed a lot of ball, so it's fun being out there with my teammates. But the other part of that is, obviously, I hate losing. And then I would say just personally, I'm not at the level that I want to be at. So I'm, striving every day, watching film, trying to figure out what I could do more on the practice field just to get to the elite level.
Thank you.
Yep.
Steve Wino.
Andrew, I know Jackson hasn't played the last couple of weeks, but how excited are you to sort of see what he can do in this offense? It looked like just as a unit, you guys were reinvigorated the last couple of weeks. How excited are you to see sort of Jackson play in this offense and get back on the field?
Yeah, I'm excited for him. Obviously, he's a talented kid. We've been, playing well as an offense, as a group, regardless. Was at the quarterback position, so, I'm excited for him to come back. We're going to do our job to make sure we protect him up front and, open the run lanes for the running backs, and, we can hit the play action and stuff like that. So we're just going to do as much as we can.
I know you guys don't want to make excuses or don't make the schedule, but how much of a grind has it been having this late of a bye week? And how do you guys as players sort of kind of handle that? I know you get an extra day this time, but how do you sort of handle that grind?
Yeah, it's the NFL. You don't choose your schedule. I think every week is a tough week regardless of where the bye week is. So you just try to take care of your body as much as you can. And then, we get the bye week next week and, try to take some time off to finish the last four strong.
Thank you.
Yep.
Art Stapleton.
Hey, Drew, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You mentioned your personal standard and holding yourself to that high standard. Has it always been that process for you? I've known you for a while. I mean, you've always kept that standard, but how has that standard changed through the years for you? And how do you, it's funny, the other day there were a lot of people saying how well you played in Detroit, and your reaction after the game was, just not good enough for yourself. Have you always been that way? What is that out of your personality allows you to keep that standard as high as it is?
Yeah, I would say it's just the nature of the position. It's not just one play, where you make a splash play and, you're a top player. You have to play, 60, 70 snaps, being consistent each and every down. And to be one of the best to play, you have to do that, over a long period of time. So each game, I go through the film. And with Detroit, I knew before, watching the film that there were some things that I need to clean up, be better at. I expect to play better, and I'm gonna play better.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
We'll take two more. Peter Splendorio.
Hey, Andrew. Interested from your perspective. Obviously, you see the outside linebackers a lot in practice and everything. Just what are your kind of impressions on Charlie Bond, and just like what does he maybe do unique that's kind of made him stand out, I guess?
Yeah, we don't spend much time with the defensive coaches, but I would say just since he's been here, he's done a good job of talking to us about ball, just like how we approach different guys, our sets, our hands, timing, things like that, and we ask him questions as well about rushers that we might be facing, what his opinion may be. But I think he's done a good job with the outside linebacker group. Obviously, they're talented, but I've seen growth in those guys from the 2 years that he's been here. So excited for him to get the opportunity.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
Last one, John Schmelk.
Hey, Drew, you guys played a Mike Vrabel defense to start the 2022 season. What are some of the characteristics of a Vrabel defense, and what are the things you have to be prepared for on Monday night?
Yeah, I haven't watched a ton of film yet, but obviously, they're a great team. They have a great record up front. I know they're going to have a physical mentality, so we're just going to have to do our best to have that same mentality. I think the technique and the run game, fitting some things differently, our identification with the front, so I think that all that's going to matter.